Sup folks, it has been a while since I made a video on this channel. It's now springtime, so I feel like there's a lot more happening than there was in the winter time. So first thing you might notice is that I'm in a different location than I was before, and I did not move out quite yet. Switched bedrooms, so this room has a south window here and a west window here, which is better lighting for my plants. Also, my little sister is probably moving back home with her child and many dogs, so it would just be easier for me to be in this room for various reasons. So first I will start off with my grow light shelf. This up here is just a bunch of little baby peppers that I got from work. So I've got some Falcaria tigrina, that's some tiger jaws, so there's 2 of those. And then there is some variegated Kalanchoe luciae. Here is a Euphorbia millii. The cultivar is Fire Sticks. I got this plant from a online cacti and succulent seller called Arid Lands Greenhouse. It initially dropped all of its leaves and it has now regrown them. So that's very exciting. And it does have a little bloom here that's developing. So then back here is an Echeveria pulvinata, and it does have some blooms that are not quite opened. This is a Euphorbia obesa, and it does have something going on the top there. I don't know if that's a bloom or not, but it is just like perfectly symmetrical and lovely. And right here is my variegated Streptocarpella. It has not yet bloomed for me. Hopefully it does this summer. So then this poor little begonia was one I got from Steve's Leaves and then accidentally left on the front porch overnight in 20-degree weather. So it's the single leaf that has come back from the rhizome. Hopefully it grows more for me. Then we got a kind of sad variegated African violet. This is a Ficus petiolaris, also called a rock fig, but it's got these really veiny leaves that it's regrowing, and I'm hoping it'll eventually bush out into a slightly larger plant. This is my variegated monstera. This is a Thai constellation baby that I got on pre-order from the People's Plants back in late February. So this guy's been growing super well. He's actually growing a new root there that's going down in the soil. It's very exciting. So next to that is a plant that I got from Steve's Leaves. This is a Begonia futhoensis. New leaves are like this reddish color, and then they grow up and they kind of still have a little bit of that, and then the adult leaves are fully green. They look like, I don't even know, they look fake, and it's amazing. I really need to repot him. I've had him a few weeks. So here I have some seeds started. I've got some ornamental peppers, which I need to water. I've got some Hungarian hot wax peppers, and then I've got some variegated morning glory. But this little guy just shot up like 2 days after I planted it. So moving on from the grow light, we got my Cissus rhombifolia. It's grown so much. It was such a little tiny plant when I got it. I love this plant so much. It's amazing, and it's up here, kind of get some west light. Next to that is some satin pothos cuttings, and then I have my asparagus setaceus, which is, you know, an asparagus fern. It has this tendril, which they grow so fast. This was just a little nub in the soil not so long ago, and then it's got a tendril that goes all the way down to here. So this, yeah, it's very tendrily. Yeah, like look at the size of this frond off this tendril. It's huge. So this is my kind of ugly Phytophora tetrasperma that I recently repotted cuttings back with the mother plant and then put a moss pole in this big pot from Target. It's generally been a kind of difficult plant for me because it doesn't like me. So down here on the floor we've got my lucky bamboo that I've put back into water after being in soil and not growing for a long time. And then I've got my poor, sad, mutilated fiddle leaf fig. This is Big Fig. I decided to chop and propagate him. Cuttings are downstairs, so he'll be in this other part probably. So right here is my lemon lime philodendron. It's growing pretty well, unfurling some new leaves. Back here behind this is just some cuttings from my Monstera adansonii that I rooted, and then I put in this little tin that has holes poked in it. Down here on this shelf, I've got 2 Sansevieria Honeyeyes. This one is Golden Honeyeye, and this is Black Gold. Then I've got a miniature rose that I got from my mom for Valentine's Day. So this is where my baby Jade is. He's about 4 years old. This is my Gasteria bicolor Lilliputana. So this very backlit ugly boy is my rubber tree. I did actually chop back 3 of the branches because they were just sad, and this is what's left. So back there is a Euphorbia Mammillaris variegata in a little tin that I poked a hole in. Very cute. And here is my Tephrocarpus articulatus Pyracantha. And I love him. He looks like a weird alien creature, and he's great. So in this very sunny windowsill, I have a number of little tiny succulents. This is some kind of Echeveria. This is a variegated Cotyledon tomentosa, variegated bear paw. This is some kind of old man cactus. That's a little tiny dude. Look at this little toupee. It's so cute. And then this little guy is my string of hearts, which I swear is the slowest growing plant for me in the world. I am pretty sure it has some kind of mite issue. This is my poinsettia. Yeah. It's still got color, and it is going to go outside in the summer. So this is a Pachyphytum of some kind. Pachyphytum. I don't know if you can see, but that's him. Hoya carnosa compacta, a Hindu rope plant. Some of it's a little firm, but most of it is like very wrinkly. So I'm just kind of waiting it out to see if it does recover. If it doesn't, I have a whole nother plant downstairs, but part of that is also kind of wrinkly. So we got a baby fiddle leaf. This is biggest fig. We've got a Euphorbia leuconura. This is a Madagascar jewel, which is just one of my favorite plants because like the backs of the leaves are amazing and the new leaves are like veiny. It's great. It's constantly growing. Very exciting. Back there is a variegated Crassula ovata jade plant. This is a Euphorbia trigona or African milk tree. This little guy here on the windowsill is a Spathiphyllum domino, so a variegated peace lily. And then this is my very big jade. She is a big jade, very large. Had this plant for about 6 years, I think, maybe 5 years. I can't tell time. A neon pothos and a Brazil philodendron. Some Haworthias and Haworthiopsis. This is a Haworthiopsis limifolia. This is Haworthia cooperi var cooperi, probably. It's kind of etiolated, but I like the look of it, you know, in that little snail. Haworthia, I think it's Mirabilis. And then I have a begonia cutting in water back here. This is Begonia Zorro. This is some kind of either a Rhipsalis or Hadiora, which is this little bird planter from Target. A Haworthiopsis attenuata. And back there is a begonia cutting. This is a cutting of my cathedral begonia. This is a Cebu blue pothos, a Maranta leuconura crachoviana. So up here is the philodendron shelf. This is philodendron mecans. He's doing okay. And then this is a philodendron silver stripe. Very just stripy. All the leaves have this like thin stripe, and some of them are like this. This is a leaf. That's crazy. And then this is my philodendron brantianum here. So another silvery guy. This is my satin pothos, which he's pretty bare up top. Don't look there. He's trailing down really well though. This leaf is just perfect. Look how perfect this leaf is. Wow. My pothos, golden pothos, big leafy, which I have had for almost a year. I grew from cuttings and it is finally starting to trail. So then the last plant over here is Mrs. Hashimoto. This is a cane begonia. It's in this pot that I got from Ross Dress for Less. Also, its new leaves are amazing and ruffly. My money tree here is on my desk. And then I have a ZZ Zenzi here. And this is a Maranta leuconura messingiana, or lemon lime. Newish begonia that I got. It's kind of silvery. It does have powdery mildew splotches on it. But you know, it's got this new leaf too. Back here is Begonia Cathedral. It's growing pretty nice. So then I pulled this guy out because he was very backlit, because I wanted to show the powdery mildew on this plant. This is a West Texas Blizzard. This is a plant that I got from Steve's Leaves back in the summer. Look at this new leaf. It is so, wow. So this is a plant that I got from Lowe's. I'm pretty sure it is Begonia Fedor. So this, I am pretty sure, is Begonia Red Planet. Got these like purple and green splotches. It was also flowering for me. It's almost done. It's in this pot that I think is great. So then this is another plant that was really suffering from powdery mildew. I'm pretty sure it still is. It's a little crispy. This is a Begonia Iron Cross, Smithsoniana. Some active powdery mildew spores, the white fuzziness. So then this is a little guy that I got from Lowe's very recently. I'm pretty sure it is called Fairy Tale. So this is one of the begonias that I was experimenting with growing in a bonsai pot, which I don't really enjoy that much. And actually, if you watch a recent video by Betsy Begonia about perched water tables, you would realize why. It does hold too much water in here because it is just a very tiny pot. And I don't have it in bonsai soil, which is why you use bonsai soil, which is like a kind of grittier, very high grit soil. You use that partially because it just drains better, and I don't have that in here, so I think it got a little overwatered. I don't know if I said, but this is Begonia Washington State. So this is the other begonia that I had been growing in this pot. Bonsai pots might be just a bit too shallow for them and for their root systems. They like it a little bit deeper, but they really like a wide pot, because if you look at his rhizome, it's like going crazy. Super cool. But this plant turns bright red in the summer. This is Begonia Ruby Slippers, and I love it. So then I'm not going to get the plants out of the terrarium because it's a pain, but we've got a Calathea lancifolia, which if you look down here has two little new shoots. A Calathea White Fusion, which I think may have spider mites or thrips. Again, we'll see. Those marks right down on that leaf make me concerned, but it has been growing pretty well. It might just be an old leaf. I don't know. And then back here, we've got a Begonia conchifolia, which is blooming. Yay! It's got very delicate little leaves. Got overwatered a little bit, so parts of the new growth kind of died off. But it does have another new growth right down there. If you see, there's a little new leaf down there. Begonia Washington State cutting that has rooted in sphagnum moss. It has some really nice root growth. And that's everything that's in there. So this is another begonia. I was experimenting with the shallow pots that I'm going to probably repot. This is Begonia Nautilus Supreme. Doesn't really dig it. He's kind of curly and sad. He gets too wet. This is Maranta leuconura, Crachoviana variegata, which you can see I neglect by giving tap water and generally sometimes allowing to dry out for too long, but it's just a very beautiful plant. It's got this crazy variegation, and these are its new leaves under here. This one and this one, very pretty, and it's got another one forming there. I actually chopped it totally back not so long ago and took cuttings, and I might add the cuttings back in here, but it kind of shot out a few little shoots from the base. One of which is very albino. This one I'll probably have to remove eventually, but just look at that leaf. It's like peachy. So then this is Begonia Tom Mint. He's just always been doing really just horribly for me the whole time I've had him. I don't necessarily know why. I think his root system was just sick when I got him, and it's just always has these very curly leaves. It does have a lot of powdery mildew, just more susceptible because it is so stressed, I think. I don't know. Down here, this is my Scindapsus pictus exotica. So he's got all these big giant leaves, and I love him. Very easy plant. Back there is another very, very easy plant. This is a Chinanthe Burley Marxii. So this right here is Begonia Two-Face, which has had some powdery mildew and general crispy issues, but I'm hoping in spring it'll be okay. It's got this like very silvery, papery front to the leaves, and then the back is bright red. So then this is Begonia Zorro, one of my canes, Begonia Maculata Whitey. So they've got these intense, speckly white splotches. It's super, super big. This plant I got in last May, and it's grown a lot. It's got a lot of new growth coming in. And this one back here, these are some of the new leaves, but it is more of a solid green color when it's mature. This is Begonia honeysuckle, no ID rhizomatous begonia. It's finished blooming, but it's just got these big, curly, weird leaves going on. Nokomis, which is another cane begonia. It's just got these big, silvery, speckle leaves going on. On a moss pole, this is my Monstera adansonii. It has been growing giant windowed leaves, which is very exciting because he was for a long time just growing tiny, tiny, scraggly, ugly leaves. So, and he had a really bad thrip infestation and no longer has that. Yay, look at that leaf. Wow. And then this is the very final leaf on my Begonia pegasus. It got a lot of leaves eaten by my cat and also just dropped a bunch of leaves because it got water stressed. But it has this big leaf, and then it has a little baby leaf there growing in. And that is all. Well, there's one down here, I think. That's exciting. Then actually in my leopard gecko's cage, I have a variety of pothos that I'm neglecting. This one has a very yellow leaf. That's, I think, pothos, pearls, and jade. And then there's a dracaena back there, and there's a golden pothos in the very back. This is a Chinese evergreen here, which is kind of sad, but he's doing okay. And a ZZ plant there, which is actually grown a lot. It's pretty bushy, pretty handsome. So I'm possibly being very optimistic that that was just one part and I was able to condense it enough and not talk forever. But yeah, if so, that was part one. It could have been also part two. Part one and two, we never know until I start editing. But yeah, so next part or parts will be downstairs. Thanks for watching. If you did, if it's really super long, I'm sorry. I have a ton of plants, and there's more where that came from. So bye.